A world where comics, movies, games, rumors, and Kardashians come at you 24/7. 3 champions will rise to defend you from wasting precious time, money, and emojis. BK, Nate, and Derreck will show you how to do it the player way.
Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, welcome back to another week of the Play Your Way podcast. I'm your boy BK, as always, joined by my co-captains Nate.
Hi.
And Derreck.
It's me, corrupting the system.
So extra today.
I am extra today.
Congratulations. You look amazing in your cowboy hat and matching cravat there.
This actually is a purple duster to go along with my Joker shirt that has this face on it.
Oh, it actually goes all the way down to like your feet. I didn't even realize. I thought it was just a regular shirt.
Yeah. It's a duster.
Oh, man. All right. A duster perfect for crop dusting. That's what's up, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, as you guys know, if you don't already know, we're back for the very first time for you, but if you are more experienced, please indulge because we're going to give everyone a quick orientation. The Play Your Way podcast is the perfect place to help you understand how to do your off time the Play Your Way. We spend all this time at work, spending our 40 hours a week, toiling away. Some of us
40.
do 60 in some cases. Some of us got child support payments. Some of us have all kinds of things that we have to do just to keep the man up off our back. So when we want to have some free time, some actual awesome time, when we want to get it in, not in 2010, but in 2017, we go on the Player Way podcast so we can help you curate your media
The Player Way.
And we're going to do it just like that. So with no further ado, where are we starting, Derreck, our associate producer? Where we starting this week?
Well, let's get on our weekends. I'm going to go ahead and lead this one off with we had a request specifically to our network, the Play Your Way network, specifically to the Player Way podcast, to do a review of Baby Driver, which just came out last weekend. And I believe you, BK, were the one that took this bullet. Or was it a bullet?
Hey, well, let's figure it out in our box office hustle. You ready to do that, Derreck?
Yeah, let's do that.
Quiet on the set. Can you please have quiet on the set?
Yes, can I have your attention, please? Box office hustle.
All right, it's time for the box office hustle.
All right, cut and print. Beautiful guy.
The Box Office Hustle, brought to you each and every week by the Play Your Way podcast, with special help from one of our associate writers over at the Play Your Way network at Play Life Your Way. His name is Ian Townsend. We used to call him the Wolf back in the day. An amazing writer. So he's going to be doing a write-up on some of these movies next week. But we can go ahead, or actually I said next week, but by the time this is posted, it'll be up, toasted and roasted. So here's what we got going on this week. We had an awesome comment on the Play Your Way network page on Facebook from a gentleman that I've never met named Alex Maldonado. I believe he's in Dallas, Texas. Is that correct, Derreck?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've known him a few years.
All right. Well, he made a request, and his request was made right as I was getting out of Baby Driver. So the fact that his fingers were on the pulse lets you know he was doing media
The Player Way.
He knew exactly what was coming up, and he knew exactly what we needed to talk about and what we were going to talk about. So congratulations, Alex. You are doing it the Player Way, and this one is here for you. So Baby Driver, an amazingly stylized film. It's very eerily reminiscent of a Quentin Tarantino film, but with a lot more pizzazz. Imagine, you guys remember, what was that? There was a film. There was
Lucky
a
Number
film.
11?
No. That one was one, but it's not that violent. There was this one caper film that Nicolas Cage was in. It's not Gone in 60 Seconds. The Italian Job.
National Treasure.
The Italian Job,
That's
right?
Italian Job. Do you mean Mark Wahlberg was in that?
Yeah.
Okay, then maybe I'm thinking Gone in 60 Seconds then. It is Gone in 60 Seconds. I was correct.
2000.
It was.
2002.
Nicolas Cage, Yeah, Nicolas Cage. It was the
I
one where
skipped my
he's like,
computer science exam to go see
it was
this
the one
movie.
he was like listening to the music and he's like moving his
Okay,
fingers
let's
like
ride.
this. All right, let's ride.
Listening
Yeah,
to Lowrider.
To Lowrider.
yeah, exactly.
Oh,
yeah, okay.
my.
So imagine that mixed in with Reservoir Dogs, and that's kind of what this is. A very hepcatish, Lucky Number 11, but without nearly as much violence. Everything is more cerebral in this film. You got some amazing actors: Jamie Foxx, Kevin
Punisher.
Spacey. Yeah, you got John Bernthal, and then you got let's see, the guy John Hamm as well, guy from Mad Men, making his kind of grungying himself up, and then the lead star is the most forgettable name of him. I believe he was in The Fault in Our Stars. I'm not the type of guy to watch that kind of film, but he was okay,
Elgort.
something like that. But he was
Ansel
okay in this
Elgort.
film. This film is, like I said, it's very stylish. It's the reviews that you'll hear about it are very accurate. It's kind of like a picturesque view of what a testosterone fueled and testosterone inclined individual would imagine what a caper would be like. What we all, as 18-year-old men who the world was just within our grasp and we had the fruit of the loom in our loins, we just imagined
So to speak.
that we would have a crew of guys and that we got a crew of our guys together. This is what would happen. You don't necessarily get super attached to a lot of the characters in the film because they kind of, it makes it seem like when they're selling the film like it's all one caper, but there's like 2 or 3 different capers, and the main character, his name is Baby, and he's this kind of stoic kid who listens to his headphones all day. He reminds you a lot of a character who would be the lead character in like a Grand Theft Auto video game. Doesn't talk much, really stoic, but he gets the girl in the end type of
Throwback
thing.
Grand Theft Auto 3.
Yeah, that guy. Nice. And so it reminds you of that kind of feeling. He's kind of weird, but it's okay. The shots are delicious. The soundtrack is amazing.
I heard about the soundtrack. I heard it's like, if you're a music head, that this has got some
absolutely.
poppin'.
This is going to be one of those films where you're going to want to try to pull out your iPhone on like its lowest setting and like pull out like the Shazam app.
Get
and
that
you're
Shazam
gonna wanna, like,
going?
Yeah, and you're like, okay, I got to get my summer playlist going. But it's a perfect summer movie. I personally believe that it was timed very well. We've been talking about this a lot. The key to winning at the box office these days is timing your film the right place in the right time so that it's not competing. So it's at the right time to come out. It's a very quiet weekend. Everybody is looking forward toward both War of the Planet of the Apes and then also Spiderman Homecoming. So,
Yes.
And then you also got some kid films that are in the theaters right now because Despicable Me 3 also came out this weekend as well. So it was a good weekend for something like this to come out. It's very approachable for any person. Guys and girls love it because it's sexy, 100% sex wrapped in bacon. So it's awesome. It's a fun movie. It's stylized. I can't really spoil much to it because there's not a lot to the film. It's just a visual masterpiece. And if you go see it, you're definitely doing your media.
The Player Way.
So absolutely, I give you 100% recommendation. Go see this film if you have the time, and try to go out and see it before Spider-Man Homecoming comes out because that's going to be our recommendation next coming up.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're right. This past weekend, Despicable Me 3 did come out. The second big kid movie from this month, Cars 3. Couple weeks back, and Gru's in this one with his learns he has a twin brother who is just as evil as he used to be, lures him into trying to be evil again, and thus the plot thickens. Minions are sprinkling in there, a few other bits of humor, of course. Grab your kids, grab your wife, go see this movie because they despicable and everybody out here.
Nice. I like that. I like that reference you just made there.
Thank you, sir.
So what we got next, bro?
Well, you already teased the deliciousness. And speaking of Tom Holland and what he's got coming up, I mean, that's kind of got my juices flowing just thinking about that. That's July 7th, and that's here. That's here. If you're listening to this right now, that's here, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think do we want to hold off and talk about this until the end of the episode when we do our bit of a gentleman's bet about what that film is going to
be? You just got me so excited when you mentioned it. I just didn't even know. I was like, oh, are we just leading into it? Because that could just lead into all sorts of other stuff. But yes.
I got you so excited.
We can throttle that one back.
I got you so excited about this that I threw you into the future, but we have to go back to the past to understand where the future is going. So this past weekend, what did you guys get into? What did y'all get into for the 4th of July weekend madness?
Nate, what'd you get into?
That was just sort of an open-ended question. Well,
as with most conversations.
Went to my second home, DC. I consider my second home. First home being Korea, second DC. Sightsee, family, and see a bunch of good friends of mine. Party.
Wow. Any plans to hit any clubs out there in DC? Me and you had some fun out there, man.
Yeah. Sadly, the park isn't what it's used to be. I haven't been there in years, even when I do go back. I try to go back a couple times a year.
Man, park? So, like, is it not as well attended these days? Not kept up? What's the deal?
I don't think so. In fact, about a month ago, I got a text from a promoter offering a free dinner, and
what at a nightclub like Park?
Well, wow. It's one of those. It's trying to do like a restaurant by day.
Oh, they're trying to do the supper club thing. That's like super popular out in LA now.
And Gloria's,
or even
Texas,
I mean,
the restaurant turns into a club.
Yeah, Tao in Vegas is like that. I mean, clubs have a short shelf life. You know, you probably got it anywhere from 5 to, if you're lucky, 10 years.
Man, we had some.
And then you do the whole quote unquote change in management.
Oh, that's what kills it. Yeah, because management always takes a bunch of people with them.
Yeah, you got to attract the crowd again. I mean, there's always something new that pops up. But now the place to go out, U Street, just go bar hopping on U Street in DC. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's also out here in Atlanta. That's like the thing to do as well, is to bar hop, is to. In fact, what a lot of bar crawls have been smart about doing is getting all of the businesses together and selling like a band. Out here, they actually will have like a promoter get together with a bunch of different bars on the same street, sell like a band like around your arm, like a big orange band that shows that you're over 21, and you can go through this bike racking and go from bar to bar. So that's kind of like the thing to do here as well. What about you, Derek? What's bar crawls like there for a weekend like this?
Well, before as I've gotten,
go ahead.
Not to just as I've gotten older, I still enjoy going to clubs, but at the same time, like, it has to be a special occasion now. Otherwise, it's just sort of exhausting.
Oh yeah, because once you spent that, I mean, you can only spend a couple $1,000s so many times before you're like, what am I doing? I'm not really getting value for my buck, what about
people
you, Derek?
try to talk. Oh, sorry.
It's okay. No, go ahead. Like, I'm happy to have Nate
Needless to say, we just don't care about Derek's weekend on it. Let's just keep interrupting him.
Let's just keep it real.
Worked on
Saturday, as I was saying before,
and, Sunday I rearranged my stamp collection, and I also bought a new broom.
Going back to bar crawls, but
they don't want to see us work. They want to see how we living.
Yes.
All right, but more about your philosophy on the bar crawls for sure. Let's get that dissertation going.
If you go and it's a very social experience. If you go with a bunch of people,
shut it down. He just straight up went. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm going to go ahead and corrupt the system right now because you straight up said your dissertation referring
on the last episode.
BK did his Tupac
thesis.
Thank you for your thesis. Yes.
I had to get him. All right, but for real, Nate.
Shout out to episode 9.
Absolutely. But go ahead, Nate.
Well, no, I was just saying, as especially going out is a very social experience. When you're in clubs, you can't even hear people talk. You just end up yelling. You gotta get real close. It's just exhausting.
What?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, because we're all over 30. Like, it's one of those things where I'm at the point where I'm done with being disgusted in the morning with my body. And, like, why do I continually torture my body like this over and over again? It's like this. It's just weird. It's like, I kind of enjoyed, like, a nice little champagne breakfast. Maybe let's go out for
Like a brunch.
Looking at
It's kind of like club is like sex. It's fun and everything. But have you ever had your back scratched for like 45 minutes?
Yes,
you know what that's
absolutely.
also fun too.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That's what a nice dinner and breakfast could be.
Bro, you preaching, bro. You own something. I'm gonna have to drop a bomb for you right now. Absolutely, man. You're doing that thing.
Them bows.
Absolutely. Oh, them bows.
Bone after that.
All right, so after that, we talked about Derreck's weekend. What's your weekend looking like? Trying to see what that be like.
Oh, trying to see. Honestly, my weekend was centered around kids. Let's go see a fireworks show. I live really close to Addison. They do a huge show every year, and they did not disappoint. Again, pretty much I could see it from my apartment, but so by the time I got there in the area, they shut down a huge block of Beltline. And as you know, BK, pretty much from the tollway to Beltline to almost Midway, they shut that whole area down for Boomtown. Man. And it was a beautiful show. I liked to corrupt everybody's system and just go ahead and ask them, oh, are you videoing this for when you watch the fireworks later on your phone? Never, because there's no point in videoing these fireworks. Just take in the memories. No one's ever your firework videos are just gonna be on your phone until next year and then the year after that. So people, stop videoing fireworks. Enjoy the experience with your family and just watch it. Don't worry about looking at it through your phone screen. Same thing at concerts too.
Oh,
There's gonna be a video of it.
I'm so glad that my friend did a hour-long live stream on Facebook of these fireworks. Said no one ever, no one ever was like, yes, I will totally stay home because my homegirl Sharon is going to be filming this for me. That's how I want to experience my fireworks at home with a Diet Coke with my slippers on. That's exactly how I want to do it with the lights on.
Exactly. So I definitely had about 15 people around me feel extremely aware whenever they would pull out their phones, so I could give them a side eye and be like, there you go again, wasting that data and wasting your space on your phone, not doing anything that's going to help you out. Just do me a favor. Take another picture of your food. Let me know what it looks like before you eat it. Let me know what kind of coffee you got today, and that way we can see what kind of leggings you're wearing too.
Okay, all right, but now, okay,
anyway.
You threw a little shade though at people who take food pictures. All right,
that's quite popular nowadays.
Hey, you know. but you know,
that's why your food's cold before you.
But listen, okay, I know we're all men, and I might risk losing some man points for saying this. But let's be real. Is it not awesome to like experience something that you know that some local people are not really experiencing, some new stuff that people not on yet, to be that tastemaker? Does that not feel good to just shine on people?
But I don't want people taking pictures of the Kraft macaroni and cheese they're eating at home with some hot dogs cut up in it. Like, it's okay. Those are some nice Dixie paper plates you got there. I appreciate you sharing that on Facebook. No, man, but we don't need people taking the pictures of their burgers and fries. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I'm going to see a plate that's going to remind me of home, or that's going to remind me of some good cooking, and be like, all right, that's cool, but you know what happens? Just like around Thanksgiving, we're all eating the same food around then. Just don't do those type of. Guess what's happening on July 4th? What are we eating? Hot dogs, brisket. We got it.
I love how he threw brisket out there. Like, no one else in the country is having brisket on Thanksgiving. That is totally a Texas tea thing.
He's talking about 4th of July.
I transitioned to 4th of
July. Even then, he's still.
Yes, Nate. Yes, I've had brisket at Thanksgiving before. Yeah. But honestly, 4th of July, it was a great weekend. I'm gonna wrap that up. I'm gonna pull me off the stage right now and just
brisket's delicious.
I'll keep it short. The brisket is delicious, and the other thing that was delicious, this Low Country boil I got going this weekend.
Oh yeah,
boy, we went out there, boy. We got 3 nice big cast iron goblet type skillet things.
Is that the official name for those?
Something like that. It's something you see like that. And then I do it 100% hood official. You know what I'm saying? People don't realize that's how we do it out here. Sometimes we get in some of the tanks. But anyway, we got some scrimps. We got some sausage, some soul sausage. We got some potatoes. You know what I'm saying? Then we got some nice pieces of corn that got that crab boil. Rachel and I, we got our homeboy James. Shout out to James. Loaded him up in the car, and then we all went out and stayed out in the countryside, out in this little tiny house, man. Did some glamping, It's like camping, but glamorous because we have we got cable television out there. So we have the Wi-Fi's. You know what I'm saying? We have the internets. You know what I'm saying? But we can, but we can be out there. So we can get out there if we want to get in nature. But then if nature gets too scary, we can come inside with the cathedral ceilings. You know what I'm saying? But it was a tiny house. It was beautiful. Rachel and I go out there a couple times a year, and we really love it up in Athens, Georgia, so near the University of Georgia. So a lot of fun this weekend, but nothing nearly as fun as what's going to be coming up this weekend. The only thing that would have made this weekend much better is if the homecoming was this weekend.
But how would you see it out there in your glamping?
How would the Spiderman Homecoming happen? In theaters, if I was camping, I don't quite understand the.
Is this helping?
Yes, it's helping 100%.
Does it help a little bit, Nate?
Yeah. The only thing that would have.
I feel like Brian was trying to segue into talk about Spider-Man. If I were to use it was an amazing
segue. An amazing segue.
Like, this is just like the one last time. You were on 24s this time. And I clearly see you rolled up.
I'm going to give myself that. You know what I'm saying? We did that.
Nate, but you know what? I still have to give Nate a shout out because, in essence, he did corrupt the system with that stomp down right now. He did corrupt the system on that one with a. Did you watch that glamping? Is that like gelking? Is that what that is? Look up gelking. You won't be disappointed.
Listen, the only thing that would have made this weekend even better is if Spider-Man Homecoming had come out that weekend. You follow what I'm saying? Baby Driver was great and all, but I really would have preferred to have Spider-Man come out.
Man, that is. I'm so excited about this one. The next installment, the next, in essence, small Avengers movie, because we all know Iron Man and a few other people are going to be in there. But this is his time to shine. Tom Holland's been promoting this for how long? You remember he was sending out those videos of him doing, in essence, gymnastics in the front yard and stuff like that. Y'all remember? So I was like, well, I guess he can do Spider-Man. He can do definitely a round off into a front flip.
Yeah. I will say, out of all of the marketing that has been done for a Marvel or DC movie over the last 6 to 8 months, and I'm even grouping in 20th Century Fox into this as well. The best marketing, best viral marketing I've seen is for Spider-Man. Have y'all seen that? They came out last week with this. It was like I don't know if it was a Starbucks commercial or what, but it had Spider-Man in it, and like the person, the barista was announcing like, hey, Spider-Man, everybody would be looking around the restaurant, and then out of the ceiling right over the person who was standing first in line, Spider-Man upside down came down and grabbed their latte upside down and took it right back up into the ceiling. That is baller, dude. Like that is nice. Some viral marketing for your ass. You know what I'm saying? So like it's little things like that, like when the NBA Finals came out, little commercials here and there that got Tom Holland in the suit. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's all kinds of different things like that have been going. So, I mean, they've rolled out the red carpet. Marvel has rolled out the red carpet for this intellectual property in ways that I have not seen before for any other property. Nate, would you agree with that?
I guess. I'm not going to lie. I don't get the commercials on TV because I don't have cable. I don't. So I see the trailers and that's about it. Sorry. I'll agree with you.
In women's lacrosse. I'm
Plus,
with you, BK.
once it gets to a certain point, I don't really watch clips or anything like that. I just wait for the movie.
Yeah, so the marketing was not done so well for this movie?
I will say it's at least 60%, 66.67% effective because you and I have seen it, BK.
Absolutely. Thanks, Derek. I appreciate it.
Golly. Yeah, I don't watch cable because
well, I don't have cable. I don't see the
The question was has the
question that drives us.
The question was has the marketing been effective in ways that you haven't seen before?
Yeah, it was at the beginning of Logan.
Do you agree? The question was, do I agree with you? But I haven't seen these Starbucks or NBA Final commercials that you have, so I don't know.
Nate, have you enjoyed the marketing for Spider-Man?
I've seen the trailers.
Cool, all right, rock on. Are you excited to see that movie?
I am, but
all right, way to go. We'll cut him off right there.
So Derek, what do you think about the marketing for this film leading up to, on what's going to be most likely the best box office draw of a Marvel film thus far?
Honestly, I am. They've done incredible. As you guys already know, trailer wise, I feel like again they've kind of saturated by showing so much of the movie. However, with the way that they are marketing with these Starbucks back during the NBA Finals, it reminds me of back when Batman versus Superman and they had those Gotham City commercials.
Yeah,
those type of things. Just I feel. Even though, of course, Batman v Superman had its drawbacks, I feel like that type of marketing is definitely the next level where all these type of movies need to start doing. I want to see an advertisement for Spider-Man in New York as if it was a legitimate commercial. I need to see some sort of CNN brief news article, those type of things, because movie trailers are still just movie trailers. That's why they've evolved to pretty much showing as much of the movie as they can in these short little 2-minute clips. That means they need to expand, and Marvel, of course, no surprise, they've perfected it. Once again, as usual, Starbucks is a huge draw to everybody already, and then you already have Spider-Man, which is arguably one of the most beloved superheroes already. I mean, they have so much to work with, coupled with the bottomless pit of money that Disney has. They're doing it right again, as usual, and this is going to be a huge box office draw. I mean, let alone the marketing that you're talking about.
It reminds me,
the excitement level is just next
It's very
level.
reminiscent of Iron Man 1, like what Marvel was like when they were trying to introduce you to this character. And that's one of the things that if there's going to be any drawbacks, in fact, Variety mentioned something about this because last week, on the 28th, and I know for a fact in Atlanta it premiered, and I'm pretty sure it did in other places around the country as well. But after the premiere, one of the things that Variety was saying is the best thing about this film is Tom Holland. Okay? Like, even when the script fails and starts to get muddled and starts to not work so well, he saves it. You know what I'm saying? So
his voice, dude, is Spider-Man's voice. Like the way his cadence, his delivery, just even the tone. It reminds me of like the Ultimate Spider-Man animated series. His voice sounds very similar to that Spider-Man, the quick-witted, like kid. Like they're just. They have so much to work with. They have so many. They are the Golden State Warriors.
And the thing that
they gave him a Queens accent too. It's a kid from Queens, and they made him sound like he's from Queens.
Yeah, absolutely, and which is.
Did you
amazing.
see that through the marketing, Nate? Did you see that through the good marketing of this?
I mean, honestly, you guys need to get off this marketing's ass.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Marketing.
Mumble grumble action. But anyway, getting back to the finer point that I was making earlier was about putting a lot of pressure on to Tom Holland. He's not. Yes, he's an amazing actor. He's a young actor. He's got a lot of great energy. And I think what Marvel is doing is they're trying to get out of his way the way that they got out of Robert Downey Jr.'s way. Robert Downey Jr. revolutionized that character and brought that character to life in ways that was not on those pages in the script. And they got lucky that time. What I hope that Marvel doesn't do is kind of bet it all on just Tom Holland, because we also want to have good character development, way better. As we know, what failed in the other two franchises for Spider-Man has been in the villain department. It's also been in how his interactions work outside of the suit. Everybody at one point or another said, this guy is exactly how I imagine Peter Parker to be. Everyone said that about the other two guys. The thing that's going to keep
I didn't think that about Tobey Maguire.
I'm just saying that was said.
The consensus, check the history. Yeah.
Yes, the overall consensus at the time was the kid could do no wrong, and then he did Seabiscuit. So so it's one of those
quality film.
That was a
quality
film. Good movie.
There's nothing wrong just because Tobey Maguire. Come on, there can only be one Tobey Maguire, and that's me, Jake Gyllenhaal. Shout out to Celebrity Deathmatch for that.
Exactly. But so my point is I hope that Marvel continues to do what made them great, which is to focus on the story and to make sure that the story is well developed. The thing that I'm concerned about, and Variety also spoke about this as well, is the Spider-Man suit. Even though we do know, if you're like Nate, and I want Nate to expound on this a little bit in a second, but the Spider-Man suit in this film is a lot more like Iron Man's suit, right, Nate?
Correct. Yeah, it's even got a sort of a AI Jarvis type of voiceover going on.
Now in Civil War, that type of suit was introduced, right?
Correct. And I believe part of this movie takes place before, during, and then most of it takes place after. Yeah.
Right, and like in the comic book continuity of Civil War, there was a suit similar to this that he got from Tony Stark, right?
He did, but it looked completely different. It was brown and gold, and it had spider legs on it. Yeah, it was the Iron Spider.
What else? Like, what kind of features? Like, what kind of features did the Iron Spider have?
I mean, I don't know.
It had those. It had these.
It had the legs on the back. Legs. Yeah, the 8 legs. Armor, things like that. This doesn't look anything like Iron Spider. This seems like it has the AI, the heads-up display, plus he can do cool things with his web shooters, obviously, as we've seen from the marketing.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Is in that this suit is a whole lot more like the Iron Man suit with the whole Jarvis thing. I kind of felt like that's a little too similar to Iron Man. Like, it's like they're trying to pull from their own intellectual property and say, hey, everyone liked this witty interaction and banter between the lead character and this AI. Let's do it again. Let's go to that well again. Like, do you guys see any weaknesses or strengths to that?
No, because that just plays into the story of Tony Stark built him this armor, so why wouldn't he put it in there?
Yeah, honestly, I'm excited to see it just because I remember, I don't know if either of you have seen the series, the Ultimate Spider-Man series. I mean, it's very, very close to the comic. I mean, they do the whole, but they show where Tony Stark interacts with Peter Parker, builds him the Iron Spider suit, and, where he has to learn how to use it. But it was just really, I'm excited to see that part in the movie. I don't know how much they're going to show, I guess, with Peter Parker interacting with the AI, but you can clearly see the mechanized features of this suit, the parachute, the spider that flies off. He actually has the throwback to the web wings, everything like that. Glide. So it's not quite the Iron Spider suit, but obviously, I mean, it might be heading that way. Hey Nate, is there any talk of? I haven't heard, but is there any talk of Amadeus Cho in this thing?
I doubt it. Why?
Well, just because he goes with that storyline, because he ends up being Iron Spider. I was just curious if he was in this, if you knew anything.
He ends up being the Hulk, I think. He's the Hulk now.
The second in the Marvel universe, or are you talking about comic universe? I'm talking about the movies. All right, I'm just talking about the movies. That's all. Like I said,
they've never introduced him. His mom was in Age of Ultron.
Okay, well, that's what I was asking. Just because, like I said, in the storyline, Amadeus Cho ends up improving like the Iron Spider suit and ends up stealing it from Peter Parker. That's I was just curious if you knew anything ahead, since you are a resident comic book guy and expert.
But they do set it like his friend is, I forgot that, I think it's like Ned something, but
chubby Asian kid.
Essentially it's he same guy as the Hobgoblin. So it's one of those things like, oh, well, hopefully,
Wait a minute. Hold on. Y'all just glossed over some stuff dropped bombs on knowledge. Can y'all kind of orient me on what y'all are talking about? Because that sounds interesting.
His friend that's shown in all the marketing that you love, it's his character is who eventually becomes the Hobgoblin in the comics. That's
what's up.
Instead of, so it's kind of like, let's not do Harry Osborn's his best friend anymore, go that route that the other two.
Oh yeah, well yeah, we definitely don't want to see that story told again. No. I had no idea about that. Legit, So the Asian guy that we see in all of the trailers is gonna be the Hobgoblin.
Same character, yeah, Ned Leeds.
Wow, that's what's up. Ned
I mean, who knows if they'll eventually do that, but I gotta imagine they have that sort of planned eventually.
That's what's up. That sounds amazing. He's got to do a lot of weight loss, though, right?
Wow. Well,
I mean, Marvel does seem to have like
Yes.
the best personal trainers around. You know.
Well, yes, I am the pot, and I am calling Ned fat.
hey, it's just an observation. It's not critiquing if you're just making an observational fact.
Did you say observational fat?
I did now. Roll that boy on in here.
Exactly. So what we got rolling along? What else we got?
Speaking of this week, the weekend of Spider-Man, what's going to be here in Dallas? WWE Great Balls of Fire, which was definitely promoted this past Monday. Remember we talked about LeVar Ball and his ridiculousness?
Bro, we got to talk about that.
Did you see
insane.
it? He
yes,
showed
I
up
saw
on Monday
it.
Night Raw with The Miz in the ring. First of all, he tripped getting into the ring, so that was already just let you know where this is going. This guy is just ridiculous.
All I have to say is beat that N-word's ass. On live television. On live television, he says this. I'm like, oh my God.
Yes. Oh, I know. And he has his son go over there telling him to handle The Miz is handle my lightweight.
Handle my lightweight. Handle my lightweight.
It was just, it's a beautiful train wreck to see LeVar speak every time he speaks. Because I don't know if he believes what he's saying. I don't know if he's literally talking out of his ass. I don't know if he's like, well, let's just go with this. But watching him live on Raw, I'm like, this man either, how many times have you heard, he's either a super genius or he's a complete idiot. Well, I really feel like he's more of a complete idiot that just happens to get some cameras on him.
No, I think he's a very uneducated guy who has very good business instincts.
Yes,
so
I always say that. He's a good marketer.
I mean, Donald Trump is a little bit like that. I mean, even though he's our president, he's very good instincts, but is not a very good smart person. So, I mean, that's
not a
what
very
we got
good
going
smart
on
person.
there.
I like that.
Yes,
I like
exactly.
How you did that. That's nice.
Coming from a not a very good smart person either. So,
I mean, school for kids who can't read good.
Exactly.
What is this? A center for ants?
I learned to spoke English better than you guys.
A throwback. Thank you. Hey.
But getting back to the
that is here at American Airlines Center, WWE Great Balls of Fire. There's
Great Balls of Fire.
Goodness
Great
gracious.
Balls of
Great
Fire.
They got Balls of Fire.
Man, I'll tell you, WWE's gonna roll that whole, as long as they can ride that LeVar Balls thing till the wheels fall off, they are going to. They're like, listen, this is, like you said, it's a beautiful train wreck. He totally, did you see the cringe, everything was going off the rails. Like, Miz is trying to get him back on track. They even send Dean Ambrose out there to interrupt.
Wearing the Big Baller Brand shirt.
They send him out to handle his lightweight. And they overtalk him, take his shirt off, overtalks him the whole time to the point where they're like, go to commercial.
Don't gloss over the shirt off. In case you didn't watch this, go watch this. LeVar Ball takes off his shirt and then proceeds to bounce off the ropes, but forgets that there's 3 mannequins of his shirts in there, 3 chairs, another person sitting down, so he has to skirt around everybody in the ring just to bounce off the rings and act. And he even got up on the top rope.
And then he can't. And then he realized, like, bouncing off of those ropes is a lot harder than it looks. So he just kind of. So it looks like he's like walking around the whole ring,
doing.
like Ric Flair, geriatric Ric Flair. It was funny.
He didn't realize that it takes a lot of effort just to run into the ropes. Like, wrestlers practice that just to make it look as good as it does. Like, these ropes are very taut, rigid steel, and he's just like, ugh.
Which brings up a question, and I know we didn't want to get into sports too much, but how long until his sons start to suffer a little bit from the bit of a minstrel show that he puts on when he does this kind of stuff?
Oh, I feel like minstrel can be used in 2 ways right there with him.
Absolutely. Hey, that means 2 things.
Honestly, they're already suffering. What was crazy, even though they were in L.A., this was the first time his son, LeVar Ball's son, well, there's his name somewhere. Whatever his name is, he walks into the arena, and this is the first time he's been in that arena literally as a Laker, and really due to the shadow that his dad is casting, like, he didn't really even get the ovation that he should have got. This kid went number 2 overall. He is a ridiculous baller, and this is the first time he's been in that arena as an actual Laker, and he still didn't get He didn't get no respect. They didn't put any respect on his name.
Well, I think the reason why they didn't put any spec on his name because there wasn't no spec to put out. Like you're dealing with guys who don't watch sports. Like the demographic is the kid who stays inside all day and is on day 257 of the rickets outbreak and doesn't actually go out and do anything. So like these people are like, who are these black people walking out and why are we celebrating them? That's a nice logo.
It's so true. It's so true. It wasn't, but like I said, it's that beautiful train wreck. It's a beautiful train wreck. Just any clips of him talking, especially if you can get one with him and Stephen A. Smith. Oh my God,
man! So would you say that there's a moment of silence for the Ball family, the family of Balls?
Yeah, definitely Lonzo, and definitely LaMelo, who just looked like he needs to go to a Noxzema commercial, sitting in that WWE ring talking about he's going to go beat up the Miz. He went and stood behind the Miz to look down on him. I'm like, this kid's a $115 soaking wet. I really wanted the Miz to just,
bro, and get that kid some media training, bro. Dropping that N-word all on television.
Just, yeah,
bro.
I'm about to beat. Oh my God, it was
beat that. Oh man, it was terrible.
Oh.
Moment of silence, man. Nate, who else we got on the moment of silence this week, man?
Marvel's Inhumans. Which
Oh, but it's Marvel
dropped,
though. It's Marvel though. How could it be on a moment of silence?
because Marvel Television.
Because of that trailer that came out last
Marvel
week.
Television.
We'll just go through it. Okay, Scott Buck, the showrunner of Marvel's Iron Fist, that wasn't very well received, is also the showrunner for the Marvel Inhumans. First trailer dropped. Didn't look good. The internet's response was overall negative. This does look like it's a fan film, you know?
Like the ones you would buy at like Comic-Con from like these guys that have these independent film DVDs that you can buy for $2.99. A concept film. Man.
I've always wondered this. When Marvel, a couple years back, publicly announced their Phase 3 slate, this was a movie that was going to be on there, but over time, especially once they got Spider-Man, they delayed the movie first, and then they go, okay, we're just going to make it a show on ABC. So you just got to kind of wonder, like, why the change from film to TV?
I'll tell you why. Because the guy who's the showrunner said, take away my film, will you? I'll ruin your fucking property. That's what he did. He was like, I'm running this right into the ground.
I don't think he had anything to do with the movie. I mean, the movie wasn't even in pre-production. It was set for release.
Someone. Maybe I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist. Play the X-Files theme song real quick. Maybe I'm a little conspiracy theorist, but I'm telling you, whoever's decision was to give the man who helmed Iron Fist, they gave him another shot immediately. Not even. Like, usually you take that guy and put him on another show and make him like like
they send him to the North Pole.
I can't even imagine what job you give him, but you give him some no-name job just so
he gets the proverbial outpost in Alaska.
Yes, absolutely. And then you bring him back again after he does something good first by accident, and you're like, oh, maybe he's worth bringing back from Alaska. Hey, your transfer papers have been approved. Let's bring you back. I'm telling you, man. So,
all right. So here's I watched the trailer and it's saying like the first episode premiering in the theater, and then the show actually starts.
Yeah. So the first two episodes they're going to show. Like that's one of the big I know how much you love marketing, but that's one of the big things they're trying to push is, oh, we filmed some of this in IMAX. We're going to show these at IMAX theaters. You could see it early. Or you could just wait a few weeks and watch it on TV for free. You know, it's.
I can't.
So Nate, tell the truth. You're gonna go see it in the theater. Tell the truth, Nate.
No.
Damn, marketing fails again.
Marketing failed for this one. It wasn't as good as Spider-Man's marketing, which really is what detracts me from wanting to see this in IMAX theaters.
That's right.
I mean, look, overall, it doesn't look good. You know, the trailer only showed one person speaking.
And he wasn't a strong speaker. He was not a strong speaker.
He's very much a Loki clone, you know. It's my brother's king and I want to get rid of him. That tired of
You know what I'm sick of doing?
character.
You know what I'm sick of doing? Okay, when you do an amazing job at being an asshole on a show, you can't make that guy an asshole on your next show because he was good as an asshole on the previous show. Because here's what happens. We don't like that guy anymore. You know why you haven't seen Prince Joffrey in anything? Because we don't want to see him in anything. Because we wanted him to die. Okay? So now they take the guy who has been just taking the House of Stark and running it into the ground, becoming even worse than Joffrey was, and you put him on the show and say, yes, let's trust this guy. Because he always gets roles where he should be trusted. Way to telegraph what's exactly going to happen in the first 2 episodes. I don't even need to see this and pay money in IMAX to go see it. They had the audacity to say, hey, and you can pay money to see this bullshit 2 times.
They had the audacity to say, "Hey, we lost some money, so can y'all float us a little bit of ducats because we need some help because we filmed this in IMAX thinking it was going to be in theaters, and it turns out it's a TV show, and IMAX is expensive, y'all. It's not like them regular cameras. We had to use the whole top portion. So just
not to mention they filmed it in Hawaii, which can't be cheap.
Never. They had to load up all the equipment. Oh. Dude.
Bro, and speaking
of cheap, are the Inhumans doing in Hawaii anyway? You know, come on,
bro. And speaking of cheap,
yeah,
the worst interpretation of Black Bolt ever in life. I didn't know it was possible to be even worse than the Entertainment Weekly cover, but they did it. They added stubble to his face. He actually murmured guttural sounds on the first trailer without explaining who the hell he is.
Oh, he got hit and he did a grunt and it
because it's that easy to make Black Bolt grunt. A man that
this is a man who can level a mountain with a whisper, but make a grunt and say goodbye to your car.
Oh man, this is terrible.
Moment of silence terrible. For Scott Buck.
Yeah, absolutely. Moment of silence. What else we got, D?
Hey, I know this was a quick hitter while we were setting up, but did you get a chance to watch that trailer for the new Jumanji yet that just dropped today?
No, tell me a little bit about that, man. I know you and Nate both saw that.
Well, watched that. Different premise, of course. We all know and love I loved the book as a kid. Now and then of course the movie came out, Robin Williams, and this one it's got definitely a lot of comedic elements. So it leads me to usually as
wait. Did you really just transition from a moment of silence and what triggered your idea of moment of silence with Robin Williams in Jumanji? That's so dark, bro. That's so dark.
I figured it. Well, let's be honest, man. That mud's in a good movie either. Shout out to Kirsten Dunst. Okay. Okay. Shout out to.
You didn't like the first movie, the first Jumanji?
No, not really.
David Allen Greer was amazing. Allen Greer was amazing in that film.
Yeah, that's what David Allen Greer did the whole movie. Scream randomly and reach for his gun that wasn't there.
Alan Parsons.
Yeah, sure, if you like. Yeah, I mean, the other one was okay. It's just it wasn't well placed. I don't think. But this one, here's the thing: as with most Hollywood movies that kind of maybe put a little too much into it, maybe kind of overcast it. You have The Rock, Kevin Hart, and Jack Black, your 3 main characters, which. Yeah, I love The Rock. He's a great action star. He's funny at times. I love Kevin Hart and his stand-ups. Hey, I like Jack Black. He's crazy. Remember he was in Cable Guy with Jim Carrey back in the day? Yeah, me neither. But all 3 of these guys are going to be on screen playing avatars of these badass kids who are in detention that come across this video game console that has Jumanji on it. Which already makes me kind of curious because Jumanji was a board game. So now we got a video game and they're sucked into the TV. And then... you proceed to just see them running through the jungle. And then Kevin Hart's like, I don't know, I'm missing the top 2 feet of my body. You got obviously short jokes. You got The Rock. We're gonna have muscle jokes. You got Jack Black.
Okay, so what
who's
he
playing a
forgot
fat
to
professor.
mention were these were kids that they
Well,
once
as
they
opposed
went
to
into the
adults that
game,
go to detention.
they became the avatars that they picked in the game.
That's what an avatar.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So what you're saying is, okay, so there are these kids.
So
that
it wasn't
find
like
this
The Rock
game.
was playing the video game. It was a kid playing the game. He picked The Rock.
All right,
and
so
once
let me
he
take
got
it back.
sucked
Let me take it back. Okay, so these
Take it back
kids
now,
stumble
y'all.
upon these kids stumble upon this video board game
in detention.
called Jumanji.
They're in detention. They're cleaning like the basement. They come across like a video game console. Plug it in. Of course, there's 4 controllers.
Oh, the plot of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Okay, continue.
Yeah, and so then they plug it in and they just pick the whatever characters they are, and then they're teleported into the jungle. I'm sorry that I didn't set that up correctly, Nate. My apologies.
This answers the question everybody's been clamoring to know: is what happens in Jumanji?
Yes.
We know what happens when Jumanji comes to the real world, but what goes on?
Guys, we've waited almost 30 years to know what's inside the globe that rolls the dice. We want to know.
Yes.
What
No, not even the globe anymore. It's just a TV.
So so I know I brought this up with Moment of Science just because I don't have high expectations for this. I'll probably see this eventually in a few years, maybe. But yeah, that's it's straight up just saying Jumanji 2. Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle, I believe, is the tagline. So
Yeah,
Hey.
and I believe Guns N' Roses' Welcome to the Jungle was playing during the trailer so appropriately.
which, if you're ever going to have a wrestling match, that's one of the best songs to open to.
Absolutely, and that theme worked out so much better for other films before who had that in their trailer. So, so I just want to think about something for a second. I'm stroking my beard for the people who can't see, and I'm just wondering if this was a good play for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, considering that this movie's already been made and it was called Central Intelligence.
It was, but
Where he
we've
plays
added Jack
sort of
Black.
like an adult child.
This is
yeah.
the tribute to the greatest.
Jack Black, shout out to Jack Black. He must have the best agent of all time. Like,
Yes,
I'm telling
Jack
you.
Black?
Yes,
Let's
dude.
put you in King Kong. Go ahead. Yeah, get in there, Jack. Go ahead.
'Twas beauty killed the
What did
beast.
he do before this? I think the last time I remember seeing him was Tropic Thunder, which was amazing.
Now, was Tropic Thunder before or after Nacho Libre?
Definitely after.
Goosebumps was the last thing he was in.
Okay.
And that was
the
that
last
was a breathtaking film. Goosebumps was a masterpiece.
By breathtaking, do you mean like it took your breath because you died, and not of laughter? Like it just took all your life in you? Because
Guys, I'm not going to let you sit up here and talk about R.L. Stein's masterpiece. That is
R.L. Stein did his thing back in the day. Yes, Jack Black did not do his thing in this movie though. But let's all be honest. Jack Black is Poe. That's who Jack Black is right now. He's Poe from Kung Fu Panda. He needs to stick to doing those for a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Voiceover.
He's been doing that.
Well, I mean, he's never going to go
But-
pull from that. I mean, those films have made all kinds of bank. This dude doesn't have to do anything else.
Yeah, he really doesn't. I mean, he's done 3 Kung Fu Pandas? And
Yeah,
and he's
man.
doing this. I feel like this is going to be more of a very family-friendly, not that, but Jumanji could be an awesome rated R movie. That really could be an awesome rated R movie, but it's just going to be family-friendly.
For those people who can't see the awesomeness that is the video chat that we do this thing on, but Nate is laughing hysterically and did the biggest I smelled a fart, shake his head no when Derek said that this could be an awesome rated R film. No. Oh man, that was amazing. No, but
It's probably. I think the same thing was said about Baywatch. This could be an awesome rated R film.
yeah, whoever said that on this podcast was a freaking idiot. I don't know who said that. Get that guy out of here. God, I mean, that
the
guy.
writer's
That,
room.
that's the guy.
The guy who said that, BK, the guy who said that might have been wrong about that, but he wasn't wrong about Wonder Woman.
Ooh, that brings us to the next part of our podcast where we talk about wrapping up Wonder Woman and we talk about how Wonder Woman is doing in theaters. And while Derek is getting those numbers going, let's go ahead and hit that drop.
Bets. Place your bets here. We got a gentleman bet right over here. Let's get it going, boys.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back at the Gentleman's Bet. It's on once again, Patron once again. It is my favorite part of the show because it's the part of the show where if I'm right, I get to run everyone's nose in it like a rented mule. Not like a trained dog.
And if you're wrong,
like a
we
rented
always
mule.
glaze over it like we should do because we don't want to ever focus on when we're wrong, which is rare.
Absolutely. I mean, if you have the power of editing, why would you not use it to your advantage?
Yes. It is a superpower.
Some people have good looks and wit, and I have editing. AV Club, thank you. Nerds run the world. Nerds. Who runs the world? Nerds. All right, so let's get on with it. Derek, where are those numbers at on WW?
We'll start with domestic. And Guardians is at $381,154,426.17. Which is number 2 behind Beauty and the Beast. And number 3 is, play that Wonder Woman music, $325,083,030. So it is now. It is only just a mere, it's just 50 million behind it. Just 50 million. But it's only been out since June 1st. And Guardians has been out since May 2nd. So,
Nate, would you like to sweeten the deal? Would you like to sweeten the deal?
By now, it's like quintuple or nothing.
Would you like to risk it all for a video bonus question?
Ooh.
Sure.
Do you want to adjust the range? Because the bet was this, for the people who aren't immediately recalling the bet, that Nate stated, had a very bold statement, if I may say, that Wonder Woman will not do Guardians of the Galaxy money. Just straight up said Wonder Woman will not do Guardians of the Galaxy money. Period. The end. That's just that. It's a wrap. Who cares about Wonder Woman? DC doesn't know how to make movies. Guardians is my favorite thing. I swallow every drop. So, BK...
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
BK countered with, I feel that this movie is going to do Guardians Galaxy and may even lap it.
Not may. Will.
Autobots,
He said it will. And we are... The past few weeks, it's just simply been...
And a caveat, there was a $10 million buffer.
$10 million buffer, yes.
Yes. So if
At
I
the
say
end of its
so
box
to clarify
office
that, to clarify what that means for the people at home, for the gentleman's bet, if you've not been listening week to week, I said that it's going to surpass it, but I have a $10 million cushion for my pushing.
A $10 million cushion, and right now you're within 50, and Guardians been out a whole nother month extra. So there's that. Let's go ahead. Oh, but we can't forget the Alien Covenant did 341,000.
I feel like Alien Covenant has become the new Ricketts outbreak.
It is. That's the only time people are going to see it. People who are afflicted with rickets are the only people watching it.
Oh man. Man. Who would have?
But honestly, Guardians and Wonder Woman are doing ridiculously well. Guardians is still killing it at the box office. It did over 3 million again. So that's
and that film
ridiculous.
is still in theaters, right?
It's still in theaters. It's reduced down to a couple screens in most theaters by now, but it's still doing work. You know what I mean? So
that's insane that movie is still having life in this battlefield that Wonder Woman has walked across and almost surpassed it on.
That's right.
You broke up.
Oh, did I break up? He did break up. I'll let you hear that one on the podcast.
We'll hear it on the phone.
But yeah, amazing feat. I was just saying it was an amazing feat for Guardians to survive all of these films and still be out there killing it, man. It's crazy. Shout out to Marvel for having 2 films back to back like this. Man.
Speaking of which, shouldn't that be our next gentleman's bet is on our predictions for Homecoming?
Absolutely. Now, one last quick thing.
I feel like this one, we're going to be all on a very similar plane on Homecoming. I don't think any of us really have a different...
Hey, what it'll be, we will see.
But regardless, it'll still be a gentleman's bet.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I tend to be
I propose something. I propose something for this, if I may. All
right. Let's do a little different. Let's do a little different. Let's put the terms up first before we put our bets, before we put our money out.
Which is kind of along the lines of what I was thinking.
Hey, are we on the same page of music?
We're not only on this, we're in the same city, state, country, planet, solar system, galaxy, and universe, in the same library, on the same book, and the same page, within the same syllables. That's how much we are on the same page, if I can say all of that.
Treble clef or bass clef?
I'm on the bass clef.
Oh, that's right where I was. That's right where I was. Absolutely, Tuba euphonium. Holla.
Yes,
right, so let's shot. All right, so let's do it.
I still remember my B flat scale. Shout out to fingering when we were band nerds, because fingering meant something totally different back then.
It meant
right along.
Go ahead, moving along. Band camp.
I'm gonna go ahead and drop the word embouchure. Huh? When was the last time you heard that one?
Our word for the day.
Hey, do you think they put us on brass instruments because we're kind of black and have fuller lips than the average individual? You know, that's a different subject.
All I know is I was told I had big cheeks like Louis Armstrong.
Well, come on, Satchmo.
You ain't never met no Satchmo.
Can you come in here and play trumpet and soft shoe for us? What was that? Just play trumpet. Just that.
And ain't no such thing as the boom boom room.
No sex in. All right, we've all right. I want to propose, since we are probably all expecting great things from this particular movie, I feel that our predictions will need to be so close on this. So we're not going to do a $5 million range, a $10 million range, anything like that. We are going to have a $1 million grace. So if I guess 70 million, it has to either do 69, 70, or 71 for me to claim victory, because I feel like we're all excited about this. I want this one to be very, very specific. Like, I want the victor to have head and shoulder victory.
I think you're over trusting. I think we're gonna still end up having probably about a 10 million gap between all of us.
I don't want a $10 million gap. $10 million gap's too wide on this one, because we all expect great things, right?
No,
I don't think anyone's
thinking
thinking below like 70 or 80 on this one, in my opinion.
Unless
you are.
I am.
Well, then you are expletiving ridiculous if you're thinking.
I'm joking.
All right, this is why we do the gentleman's bet.
I'm joking.
This is why we do the gentleman's bet.
So what are the terms? What do we get if we win? Are we just doing rounds of drinks again for the drunkest night ever in Atlanta, Georgia?
Man, I feel like that. Oh, shout out to Atlanta, Hard Knocks and Cheap Pops over there. All right.
Oh, I got a good one.
Oh, you got something?
I believe the 2 losers on this bet, when they come to Atlanta, Georgia,
I swear,
have to do the pie in the sky challenge.
Break that down. Oh, perfect.
All right, in Kennesaw, Georgia, if you ever heard of a show called Man vs. Food.
Oh my God, BK!
There's this pizza challenge that they allow. It's so big they allow 2 people to take the challenge.
Is it 4 hours or 5 hours?
I don't even know. It doesn't even matter. However long it is, the losers of this particular bet, the 2 guys that lose this one, have to take the Pie in the Sky challenge in October when they come here.
Nate, are you clear on what the Pie in the Sky challenge is?
Eat a big pizza?
Not just a big pizza. You and a friend have an hour to eat a 30-inch pizza. 5 meat toppings, pepperoni, ground beef, Italian sausage, ham, and bacon. It weighs 11 pounds and is loaded with meat toppings. Your prizes are you get a picture in the Wall of Fame, $250 cash, but you must pay for the pizza in advance. So you really profit only $200. So the pizza costs, what, $50 there?
Bitch, what?
So it's not for free or discounted if you win, just so you know. You still have to pay for the pizza, but you get the cash back. So you profit, like I said, $200, and you have to F up all of your plumbing and inside. So I don't know who's going to lose the most on this bet, but...
yeah, I don't. I'd rather have a drink than
But this one,
rather
this
pay
one's a
for a
special one.
drink
This one's
than
a special one. None of us
eat
are
a
on a really
pizza.
different page on this one. Like, we all expect great things for this movie. I'm surprised that BK is expecting low stuff, but I feel
This doesn't
like
even sound healthy, though.
it's not. It's not. So that's just that. So I'm glad that we cleared that up and got that out the way. So what's our range on this one? BK,
I don't think we need to have a. I don't think we need to have a range. Watch, you're gonna see. We're gonna have 3 very different numbers. Watch.
3 very different numbers, huh?
Yeah, I'm 100% based on what I just know about our personalities. I've known you guys so long. I already know. I know I'm going to come in.
Do you know
at the
anything
lowest.
else? Have you heard any rumors about this movie, BK? That is there anything that anyone does not know about this bet before we continue with this bet?
What he's getting at is he's talking about domestic versus international.
Worldwide, we're talking about that.
Yeah, so it
We're
is
talking about
domestic
any
numbers.
inside. Do you have any inside information, or is it irrelevant because it's just a bet, and whatever you know is what you know going into the bet?
You said it, not me.
All right, whatever you know is. So if this means if Nate happens to have an inside thread with a producer from this movie saying no, it's not going to be good, and Nate makes a bet, it's still legit because hey, it's what you rung what you brung. Right?
Hey,
you run what you brung.
Hey, you know the gentleman that you are betting with. My name is Texas T. Come battle with me.
Oh, and I'm the famous yarn spinner from DTX, and I am still corrupting that system. So yes,
all right,
and I'm
let's do
hungry
it.
for some pizza. So I win both ways. I'm gonna.
That's
get
what
to
I'm
see a
saying.
great movie.
I'm saying.
I'm gonna get.
I
to
can
see
tell
a
my
great
wife.
movie,
I can tell
and
my
if I
wife.
lose a bet,
Listen,
I get pizza.
listen. I don't want to eat the pizza. I don't want to eat the pizza, babe. I don't want to eat.
You don't want to eat the what?
I want to eat the pizza. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to eat the pizza, but the guys are making me do it. It's a gentleman's bet. What kind of man would I be if I backed out on the gentleman's bet?
What kind of man would you be?
So let's do it. All right,
Do it. The two
Nate.
losers, and when you say losers, that means so. Let's say this movie does 90 million, and I thought it was only going to do 70, and BK thought it was going to do 60, and Nate thought it was going to do 85.
I think it should be.
So-
I think it should be Price is Right rules. The closest without going over.
Without going over. I agree with that. Nate,
Yes.
you in with that?
Sure.
All right. So if it does 90 million, Nate is the closest. That means me and BK would have lost, and we got to go eat pizza. Which we'll be
Now,
able to.
it- now-
and we'll do some live broadcasting just so y'all know exactly what's going on from the
Now
spot.
exactly. It'll nullify if 2 people turn out to wanting the same number. So
Of course.
we'll have to do this for something. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Nate, you go first.
But what if I had the same number as
So
Nate's
wait,
gonna pick?
did we decide we're gonna do the gap or do what?
We're gonna all type our number into the group chat and then hit enter at the same time. That
No,
way
I
one
mean-
can change their number.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. That's
Well,
not
did
a
we
bad
say
idea.
we were gonna do a range or what Derek was saying, where we just?
I don't
give
think we
one
need a
number
range.
and-
We'll decide range once we see what the numbers are, because that'll dictate if we need a range or not. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. I've typed my number into the group chat and I'm
Hold
ready
on.
to press enter at any time.
Okay. I'm ready.
Okay, and the terms are, it opens on Wednesday. Are we doing just a 2-day estimate on Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so 3, or are we gonna do since it opened from
We're
that
gonna do
Wednesday?
both.
Opening,
We're gonna
yeah.
give 2 numbers: opening 5-day and normal 3-day. Specifically
It opens
for you, BK.
Thursday, doesn't it?
The 7th. It opens the 7th.
The 7th.
Oh, so it's a Friday. Yeah, it opens Friday. It's regular.
Okay, so it opens.
Well,
Friday.
no, I mean they have
Wait.
Thursday
Do you know
showings.
something, BK?
They'll have
Are you
have
watching it on
midnight.
Wednesday?
I think they're gonna have a Wednesday opening. That's the reason why I'm saying it. I'm
But it
almost
keeps
for certain
saying
it's
7/7
Wednesday.
everywhere.
It doesn't matter.
That's
That-
the official date, but
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure it opens Thursday.
I think it opens Wednesday.
Well, it'll probably have like Thursday night.
Go to Fan.
showings.
In fact,
All
let me
right.
open up Fandango. Hold on, I'll open up Fandango. That'll tell me. Give me a second.
Oh, can right now we play the Jeopardy theme? Can we just
Yeah,
go ahead and do that?
Yes, we'll do it. We'll do it. Fandango. Because I looked at this yesterday. Yeah, it's Thursday, July 6th. Is the first day.
yeah.
All right, so just what, opening weekend then?
So if
Yeah,
it
from
turns out,
Thursday
so
through
so if it
Sunday.
turns out they end up having some Wednesday ones open up, which is very possible, we won't count that number. Cool. So just
So
Thursday.
Thursday
Say that
through
one more
Sunday.
time. You kinda-
Thursday. We do a Thursday through Sunday.
Thursday through Sunday.
Yes.
All right. Non-gentle Nate Nate just dropped bombs. Where's yours? Oh, you sneaky.
Oh, he did it in the actual Hangouts chat.
Yeah. What other chat were y'all gonna do?
Because you can type stuff. No, I mean in this little.
BK
thing.
is sneaky, listeners. He did not put a number.
Yes, I did.
So he could.
Yeah, you did. He put it.
I'm the only person that actually put it in the Hangout. Everybody else did something alternate.
We put it in the G chat. You put it in the Hangouts.
That is Hangouts.
Which is where we are.
G-Chat is Hangouts.
Ladies and gentlemen, I put mine on the actual video that we're actually looking at instead of going into an alternative window. So I actually did it in where it belongs. Everybody else did it in a separate window.
All right, so either way, we all did it at the same time. You have 112, I have 125, Derek has 75.
What, Derek? You went the lowest? What? Woo! Get ready to eat some pizza, buddy.
I want to eat pizza. We've been wanting to do this challenge forever.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, I did one. I think 112 is where it's going to end up at. I think 125.
Supposed to say 175.
Exactly. I think 125 was what I was going to say originally, but I think that's a little ambitious because I think they're going to lose some steam from not coming. They should have did it this weekend. I'm not sure why they chose to go the weekend after this. So I think they're going to lose a little bit out. I think they're going to come in at like 115. So I went at 112 just to be safe.
Nice.
I don't know why they didn't do 4th of July.
Cool. Well, that's the gentleman's bet, and I think that's the Play Away podcast for this week, right, guys?
That is the Play Away podcast this week.
One quick little note. Derek mentioned something about an anime series.
That's right. Attack on Titan wrapped up Season 2. It has been talked about and allegedly confirmed that 2018 will be Season 3, so we may not have to wait the 4 years like we did last time. But Season 2 did just end. It was only a 12-episode season. This leads me to believe that maybe the first 25 episodes of Attack on Titan, maybe that was actually like the first combined, and then they threw in these 12 because everyone was probably expecting more, but they did this 12 so actually get on a schedule. So it wraps up wonderfully. Another cliffhanger again about the story, about what's going on, but all the questions that you have while you're watching this series have already been answered in the comic if you are actually up on that. So definitely, if you have not watched Attack on Titan and you've been waiting to binge, go ahead. You have 12 hours. Take these 4 hours of your free time and enjoy.
Nice. Nate. Nate, what you up to this week? What you going to be hitting up this week?
Not much. I wish I had something to say.
Have you watched Glow yet, Nate?
No, that's on the long list of things I need to get to. I'm going to be on the lookout for rickets. I've been currently pretty active in searching for a cure. Haven't gotten very far, but I've noticed chia seeds have a very positive reaction against rickets.
Chia seeds. So if you're trying to do your nutrition the player way, get you some chia seeds.
If you don't want rickets, get some chia seeds.
And
Nate hires kids to find these in the Brazilian forest. Don't trust him. He hires little babies in the Amazonian forest to find these chia seeds.
Well, it's cheap labor, honestly, and it's smart business. So
Two things that Nike does.
Plus, they're out during the day and they're not getting fucking rickets. That's win-win right
Honestly,
there.
You're really helping out the most.
I'm helping out the no rickets cause. Yeah.
I just had to hit him with some Sarah McLachlan since he was talking about putting the kids in the Brazilian rainforest and making them work like day workers. So I had to hit him with it. I had to do it.
Wait, with what? I couldn't hear what you
I hit him with some in the arms of
some Sarah McLachlan.
Angel.
Oh, like she does the the homeless commercial. Okay, gotcha. Exactly. That's pretty good marketing for those homeless dogs.
And speaking of marketing, something that flew under the radar marketing-wise, Derek, you'll enjoy this if you don't already know about it. I'm actually ashamed I don't know about it. But thanks to my YouTube Red subscription, I went into a show hole looking on theories of what's coming up next in Dragon Ball Super, and I ran into a fan-made series called Dragon Ball Absalon.
Oh, yeah, I watched that a few years ago. Dude, you've never seen this? Are you serious?
I never saw it before, man.
I even mentioned it to you a couple years ago that I watched it on YouTube.
It.
Oh, my.
I admit it. I ignored you. I said,
It's
yeah.
so legit.
Are you crazy? Bro, it's so legit.
This is the one with Oob is like 15, right?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
he's like older. He's like a grown man with kids.
Yeah. Oh, yes, with kids. Oh, yes.
Man.
Oh, and him and Gohan are like really
I'm on episode 5 right now. I'm on episode 5.
Right.
If you have not seen Dragon Ball Epsilon and you are kind of maxed out on your episodes of Dragon Ball Super and you got a Jones like I did up in your bones, go on and get you some of this Dragon Ball Epsilon on YouTube. They got a ton of episodes. They call it a miniseries, but the voice acting is legit. The animation is a bit congregate.com-ish, but it's still pretty good.
Cool.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, everyone in between, that is going to do it for another week. Week 11.
Week 11.
Week 11, guys. 11 billion weeks so far on the Player Way podcast. Thanks and shouts out to my co-captains, Derek.
I'm still extra.
So much extra drama. And Nate.
That's me. Corrupting the system on Instagram.
Yes, you left the door, Derek. You left the door wide open. I was like, no. So much pomp and circumstance. Absolutely.
I'll take
and
that
I'm
free
your boy
promotion.
BK.
Keep promoting corrupting the system on Instagram, Nate. Keep going.
And as always, I'm your boy BK at Play Life Your Way at Instagram. And you can find us each and every week, the Player Way podcast, at playlifeyourway.com. Again, that is playlifeyourway.com. If you have questions, concerns, you can go on our website, look at the crew, but then you can go over to the contact page and send us a little shout out there. Or you can go on Instagram at playlifeyourway, or at Instagram at corrupting the system, or at on Instagram as NPGPX or NPGPX. I mean, there's so many ways to get us.
Machines commercial right now.
You can get all kinds of opportunities to talk with us if you want to. Join us. Join the team.
Autobots,
At playlifeyourway.com. Exactly.
Peace out,
Autobots
Rabbit.
roll out, and we're out of here. Thanks for listening to the Player Way podcast. Recorded in a single take from Los Angeles, California, Dallas, Texas, and Atlanta, Georgia, by Nathan Petersen, Derek Lewis, and BK Jackson. Our opening theme is titled Bound by Ricky Remedy, courtesy of Elysian Records, and our closing theme is titled Coconut King Diaries by Xander, spelled Zahnder. You can find this music by both Ricky Remedy and Xander, and many more tracks on SoundCloud. And remember, no matter what choices you make or paths you follow, just make sure you do it the player way. See you next week.